Well, hey everyone, my name is Nathan Jones, and if you're new here, welcome. I like to talk about all things movies, specifically Blu-rays, and today is the last Blu-ray haul of 2021. So I wanted to share with you what I was able to pick up for the month of December. I got some holiday choices here as well, some things that I picked up during the holidays, and some gifts as well. But yeah, so I wanted to share with you what I was able to pick up for the month. But there's a few more things before the year ends. And in a few days, we're going to wrap up our 100 Years of Movie series, where we're going to be talking about the 2010s, which is a fantastic decade, the most recent decade that we had. So I was able to finish up this series with a great guest. So be on the lookout for that. And then also here in a few days, there's also going to be a cool challenge video with another friend. Be on the lookout for that. And then, of course, near the beginning of the year, we're going to be doing a complete collection video very, very shortly for an annual revisit on the collection. So we'll see what made it to the end of the year, what are some new acquisitions and etc. But yeah, I'm excited to share that with you very, very shortly. So now that we have that out of the way, let's jump right into the haul for the month of December. What were you able to pick up for this month? All right, first is a film directed by Sofia Coppola and also written by her, and is starring Rashida Jones, who I love, and then also Bill Murray. And I'm talking about On the Rocks, and I was able to see this one not too long ago when I picked it up. It was really cheap. I think it was around $12. And I really love this film. It's about a marriage that's on the rocks that Rashida Jones is going through, or at least she's thinking some things are happening with her husband. Bill Murray's her estranged father, who is just really eccentric and rich and definitely a dick. And but anyway, On the Rocks is certainly worth your time, and I highly recommend it. It's a really good, really great film from Sofia Coppola. All right, next is another film that came out earlier this year. I think it was supposed to come out last year from A24, but I'm talking about Saint Maud. So this finally got a Blu-ray release here in the States. Very excited for this one. Love A24 and their horror output. So I have not seen this one yet though, so I don't know why I've been waiting for it, but this is definitely on the top of my list to check out very, very soon. But I've heard really, really great things about this. All right, next is a film that I was able to see in theaters, and I really loved that I was able to watch this one. And I'm talking about a film that's starring Rebecca Hall, and I'm talking about The Night House right here. And I really, really love this film. This actually has one of the scariest scenes that I have ever seen in a horror film. And I really love the camera work in this film. I think it's really creative, and there's some really, really great scares in this movie. So if you haven't seen The Night House or know very much about it, check it out. Go give it a watch. It's highly, highly recommended on my list of 2021 films to watch. All right, so now we're going back in time to 1981, and this is the director's cut. I was able to get this used, but I got Das Boot finally. I have never seen this film. I've always seen stills from it, clips from it, etc. It's one of those films that has evaded me for a long, long time. And it's about time that I finally picked it up. So I was able to pick up this awesome director's cut directed by Wolfgang Petersen. Yeah, it's going to be a long one too. It's 200 plus minutes. So it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be quite the dive underwater, but it hasn't been on my radar. Keep making submarine jokes. All right, so moving right along, we're going back in time to 1971. This is Steven Spielberg's first film, Duel, right here. And this is starring Dennis Weaver and is based on a story written by Richard Matheson. He wrote the published story and also the script for this film. But yeah, this is a film that I've heard is really, really great, highly competent, and we can see where Spielberg would go on to Jaws, E.T., etc., and be the filmmaker that we know today. But I still have not seen his debut film, so very excited to check this one out. All right, next is a classic for a lot of people, and it's a film that I haven't seen in a long time, so you know, whatever. But it is the holiday season, so I was able to pick this one up. Some people consider this a Halloween film, but I'm talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I always thought this was directed by Tim Burton, but he just produced it. But this has the sing-along edition to it, and yeah, I'm excited to revisit this sometime in the future, but I was able to pick it up for a really good price too. So I was able to pick up the classic that everyone loves, you know, and I think it's just fine. All right, next we're going to talk about a film from Warner Archive, and this is just a continuation from this series who I really, really love, Nick and Nora. We're talking about William Powell and Myrna Loy in The Thin Man Goes Home. So I think this is the 5th in the Thin Man series, and Warner Archive keeps putting out The Thin Man individually released every few months or so. so I'm just following along with that. And once I pick up all the titles, I'm going to jump in to all these releases, but I cannot wait to check them out. All right, next I have a 4K in front of me, and this is a recent release. I think it's really hard to get at the moment, but I was lucky to find this in the wild. But I'm talking about John Woo's Hard Target with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Wow, this looks exciting, and I've heard really good things about this. This is the original 4K scan from the original camera negative, so I'm already sold with that, but I've heard really good things about this particular release, and Kino Lorber is knocking it out of the park with a lot of these releases, and Hard Target is one, if you can get your hands on, it's definitely worth your time, and very excited because I love John Woo. I need to watch more of his films. All right, next is another 4K release, another one that a lot of people have talked a lot of good things about, but this one has Audrey Hepburn and Rex Harrison in it, and I'm talking about My Fair Lady. And okay, so here, listen up. This is a 4K edition, of course, restored from the 8K scans of the original 65mm elements with 96K resolution with English 7.1 Dolby True HD audio. So this is going to be a gorgeous film, both visually and probably aurally. So we're going to hear this. I've heard really phenomenal things about this. I love Hepburn and the things I've seen, Charade in particular, but I cannot wait to see My Fair Lady on 4K. I've heard really, really phenomenal things about this release. All right, next are 4 titles from Paramount Presents, and I'm very excited to jump into this. There was a sale recently on Amazon from these titles, and so I was able to pick up a few that I wanted to get, and the first is number 2 on the spine number, and I'm talking about King Creole. So Elvis in King Creole. So Elvis films are kind of a blind spot in my eyes, and this is the one of the films that I've been told to get. Of course, I've seen a lot of Elvis numbers growing up in his films, and also just performances here and there, but I haven't really not sat down and paid attention to his filmography. So King Creole, I wanted to pick this one up and give it a shot. So I love that Paramount Presents puts out their awesome little releases here with the original poster art as like something that you can unfold here. So that's King Creole. Next is Spine number 19. It has Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte in it as a cop and a con in 48 hours. And I did not pick up the second film, but I'm very excited to check that out sometime soon. But yeah, this is a buddy cop and con film. Really love the look of this film, and it looks like a lot of fun. This one is from 1988, I want to say 82. I don't know why I thought 88, but very excited for this one. I love buddy cop films. All right, and next is a film from 1976, and is Spy number 23, which is my favorite number. And it's got all these just kid actors kind of recreating 20s scenes. I'm talking about Bugsy Malone, and I want to say special shout out to Steph, Movie Chatter. She got this on my radar. Very excited for this. I think this is one of the first Jodie Foster roles that she's been in. This also has Scott Baio in it as well, and very, very excited for this one. I love this time period, and also just seeing like a gangster film played by kids is going to be very interesting to see on screen. And last is a film from 2001 starring Tom Cruise, and I remember the poster for this for the longest time. There it is right there, Vanilla Sky, but I love this artwork better. This is 20 years old now, which is crazy, but I don't remember much besides the poster when this came out. I heard some kind of mixed things when this movie came out. This is directed by Cameron Crowe. But yeah, I'm excited for it and excited to revisit. This is Spy number 27, but yeah, those are what I picked up from Paramount Presents. All right, so moving right along from Paramount Presents, there was also a Shout Select sale going on Amazon at the same time, and I was able to pick up a few titles here. I'll also go in the Spy number order that I have here, but Spy number 3 from Shout Select. This is a film that is from 1988, and I was right on this time. It's got Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin in it, and Midnight Run, another buddy cop film, a cop and a criminal film. Looks like a lot of fun, and this has been on my radar for quite some time. And then next is Spy number 28, and this has a fantastic actor that I love, Michael Keaton, in Mr. Mom right here, and it also has Terry Garr in it as well. This looks like a batshit crazy film, so I'm very, very excited for this one, and I love Michael Keaton, so I couldn't say no to that. After that, we have a film that is Spy number 67, and is from 1980, and is a film that has Kurt Russell in it, and it's Used Cars. And Used Cars also has Jack Warden, Garrett Graham, Frank McRae, and Deborah Harmon in it as well. This looks like a sleazy film, and I'm all for it. So Used Cars, had to jump on board on that one. Next is a film that has a Spy number 82 from 1999. and is got James Cromwell, Richard Jenkins, Sam Shepard, Max von Sydow, and starring Ethan Hawke as our main character. And James Cromwell, like I said, Yuki Kodo, James Rebhorn, Rick Yune. There's a lot of really great people in this film, but very excited about this one. I guess it's a reporter who has an ex-lover who's kind of connected to a crime. So, but it's Ethan Hawke, and so that's why I was sold on this one. And then last but not least is Spy Number 87, and I actually was introduced to this film thanks to the Hughes brothers. There was a little edition in the Menace to Society Criterion that was just recently released in the special features. They mentioned this film, and I saw this in the sale, and I was like, oh, I got to pick it up. American Me. And this is Edward James Olmos's debut, and it's from 1992, the year of my birth. Yes, I'm young. But I'm very excited for this one, and I heard some really good things, obviously, from the Hughes brothers, and I love Menace to Society, so excited to check this one out. And that's what I picked up from Shout Select. All right, now we're moving on to box sets, and the first one is one that a lot of people were a little bit disappointed because I think a lot of people already had the releases from this particular label, from Arrow Video, but I didn't have a single one, so I was happy that this came out. And I'm talking about Giallo Essentials and Red, or Volume 1. Very excited for this one. This one has The Possessed, The Fifth Chord, and The Pajama Girl Case. None of these films I owned, so very excited about this. I love the artwork here. And then there's the discs, which a lot of people have the individual releases, like I said. And yeah, it was on sale, and so I picked it up. Excited to get Yellow, the next in the sets, because I don't have any of the films in that as well, but I want it to be a little bit cheaper. But were any of you able to pick this one up, or were you mad about Arrow putting this out? I actually think it's good for people who have not caught up with a lot of the things that are like limited edition releases. For people who maybe have missed out, who are just jumping in to collecting, I think things like this are good, and I'm glad Arrow's re-releasing things. All right, next is a set of films, 8 films, from 1994 to 2003, and this is from Quiver Distribution, which I've never heard of Quiver until now, but I picked up the Woody Allen collection. Controversial, I know, but I'm excited to check this out because, like I said, from those years, we have Bullets Over Broadway, Mighty Aphrodite, Everyone Says I Love You, Celebrity, Small Time Crooks, Curse of the Jade Scorpion, Hollywood Ending, and Anything Else. So I don't know any of these films. I've only really seen Annie Hall, Midnight in Paris, these films right there. But so I don't necessarily know much about Woody Allen's other filmography. So I'm excited to jump into this, the lesser known films from the 90s and early 2000s. And so prolific director, and very excited for that one. So was any of you able to pick this one up or hear about this? I'm curious to know down in the comment section down below. All right, so next is a release from BFI, and I got this in the mail yesterday morning at like 7 in the morning. It is so early. But I was able to get Marlene Dietrich at Universal from 1940 to 1942. Love this box set. I love the digipacks in here. It's got nice slip covers in here. We got a really cool booklet of Marlene Dietrich. We have the films itself, Pittsburgh, right here, The Spoilers, The Flame of New Orleans, and we have the Seven Sinners. So very excited to check out those films and look more at Marlene Dietrich's work. I have the sets both from Criterion and Indicator, and I still haven't jumped into it, but I now have more Marlene Dietrich films, and I loved her role with Jimmy Stewart. So, but anyway, I digress. I'm very happy to own this, and I'm happy to get some more BFI releases from the UK. So this is a Region B release. Fun fact for a lot of people watching this right now. All right, speaking of box sets and Region B, this is another release that I was really highly anticipating, and has another iconic actor in it, and that's Mae West right here. Mae West in Hollywood from 1932 to 1943, and this is going to be a sensitive. Look at that one. Wow, that is a cover. But anyway, I got 1466 out of 6,000. There's a limited edition run of this set, so you should pick it up. There's 10 films on this. There is Night After Night, She Done Him Wrong, I'm No Angel, Belle of the 90s, Go Into Town, Klondike Annie, Go West Young Man, Every Day's a Holiday, My Little Chickadee, and The Heat's On. So very excited for this one. Let's look a little bit closer at the films itself, and the artwork. There's also a really thick book right here on those films, right there. Then there are the individual films, and I think there's like reversible artwork on the other side of some of them because there's not enough in here. There's 10 films in this set, so very happy to pick this one up. So, yep. Yeah, so that is the Mae West and Hollywood box set. Very, very excited. The Indicator keeps on putting out just phenomenal releases, and this is like a film school in a box, really. Very, very excited to jump into this one. All right, next we're going to talk about another Region B release that just was recently released from Eureka. I didn't know if I was able to going to get it anytime soon. I didn't really get any notification about it, but I got Il Grande Silenzio, which is the Great Silence right here. Sergio Corbucci. Very, very excited for this Western, this spaghetti Western. I love that this set came with some cool things right here. So there's the Great Silence, there's a reversible artwork on the inside of the disc, but it also came with these cool like postcards from the movie itself, some stills from the movie. And then it also came with a cool poster right here, which I am not going to like unfold or anything yet. So anyway, that's the Great Silence. Very excited for that. Spine number 257. It's a Region B release, like I was saying. Yeah, I'm going to be in a Western mood in January, so very excited for that one. And then finally, last but certainly not least, is a film that I've been wanting to get for a long time, but I've just not had my opportunity to pick it up, and I have it on 4K now. And this came out a couple years ago, but this is from Second Sight Films, and this is a 4K release of Dawn of the Dead. George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. I'm so excited to have this 4-disc set on 4K, which has a million special features on it. And I cannot wait to jump into this. As I've seen Night of the Living Dead, but I have not seen this movie. I know, right? But yeah, very happy to finally have this release. It's a Region B release. And so yeah, that's what I was able to pick up for the month of December. What about you? What were you able to pick up for the holidays, for the last bit of 2021? Are you excited for anything for Christmas? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like, comment down below, share, hit the notification bell, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. I'm not jonesing around.